You leave from your working place, you come to the man.
Yeah, I'm from to my working area to Clarence to now go to the man.
To go steal now.
No, I'm not go steal. I'm not go steal. I go to yeah. How you question me, man? The thing you want for me to explain for you to understand, then you still questioning me, doubling the question. How many talk clear now?
Okay, let's go now. I beg you, sorry.
I say.
When they call you in the net now.
When the man call me in the net,
yeah.
He asked me, say, how many of you are working to the area? I say, we are 3.
You told the message you're 3.
Yeah. So he said, I want to give you tea to carry to the
message. You want to give you what tea?
Tea. Have milk tea.
Oh, milk tea.
Yeah.
For you to drink
with bread.
The bread.
3 pieces of full bread.
With egg inside.
With egg inside, my butter. So when I carry it to the man, say carry it to the man. When you give it to the man, then you must come back to the car.
So the food make you now, you carry it so you can go convince your friend now.
Yeah. When I give it to the man, the man say thank you. I say okay. The man say, oh, where you going now? I say, oh, I'm going right here. So one of my friends called me.
Yeah, the same man you going to now.
Yeah, the same man.
The man tell you say he want for you to go steal.
No, yeah. So when I go to the man, he say clean the car. Then they are 2 now.
In a jeep.
Then they are 2.
A big jeep.
Yeah. Black DG, photo G. Yeah. So when I clean the car now,
air condition all inside.
No, Papa, you can't wait for me to spin now. I'll leave the whole town now. You can judge people.
I just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people like you come here.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you double in the question, you like say when I move from here, I'll free. You like say when I move from here, I'll free. You said one talk again. I wanted to make a whole talk clear to you, but you double in the question. Hi, looking. Then you want force another more word there again. Why not be looking to the top? I'm not going to talk again. And said they call me to the office. I go explain.
The thing you explain to me, you come to get. You say you carry the tea to the man. After you carry the tea to the man, and you come. No, but you getting very. You say asking you too much question. Hey, there's me things. Say make your egg and bread. You bring it. Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you
I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When I give you answer now, then you.
Okay. Explain again. I'm not asking you no more question again. Okay, let's go ahead now.
Go to school. The English say I need the English.
Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Sorry.
Say Ali, you take that. You take that.
I'm taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Say I can take that
to explain. Yeah, okay.
I'm filled with a profound sense of gratitude and humility. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your president and commander-in-chief for the past 6 years. Together, in 2018, we embarked.
Sitting down with happiness. You go write paper for that 79-year-old man. He's struggling to read. Then you go there, I will tell you that nation, I will tell you US, I will bring one for you. Because you think one for you, I will tell the woman of reading. When you come to the
when you elect a clown and you think that he will be a this is what we must deal with, and this is what we must say. Who do we elect into our public offices? Because, as I've said before, when you allow hyenas to take care of goats, why should you be surprised when the goats are eaten? This is the same. And Africa is only going to realize our potential in all areas when, by dint of choice, we enable and allow our best men and women to serve in different areas. I've heard it being said about Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore. I've heard it being suggested about Mahathir Mohamad in Malaysia. I've heard it being said about Japan. I've heard it being said about other countries, but there was a conscious decision on the part of those individuals and the followership. We always talk about leaders, but we never talk about the followers. The followers must also style up. Africans on average are for some reason attracted to thieves. Africans are for some reason attracted to men and women who cannot serve her. And when they are not served, then they complain. When Africans are told, choose you now whom we shall release, Jesus of Nazareth or Barabbas, they say, release Barabbas. And when Barabbas behaves like Barabbas, they say, why are you not behaving like Christ? It cannot be done.
In May of 2001, signed a second of two executive orders, number 13213, Defense Exhibit D310, in which it was stated, and I quote, the government of Liberia's complicity in the RUF's illicit trade in diamonds and its other forms of support for the RUF are direct challenges to the United States foreign policy objectives in the region, as well as the rule-based international order that is critical to the peace and prosperity of the United States. Therefore, I find these actions by the government of Liberia contribute to the unusual and extraordinary threat to the foreign policy of the United States described in Executive Order 13194, with respect to which the President declared a national emergency. This executive order did not say the alleged complicity, it concluded the complicity. The conspiracy was born, all systems put into motion, and here I stand today. I never stood a chance. This is the broader contextual matrix that regrettably did not and still has not seen the light of day in these proceedings, despite the gallant efforts by the defense to unearth and reveal the contextual framework behind the charges against me. Now, with the two executive orders, the dogs were let out, so to speak. What followed was a dispatch of the attack pack led by Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, Defense Intelligence, 30 years, prosecutor. He, Crane, unlawfully unsealed the court's sealed indictment to his handlers, senior U.S. government officials at the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, and was never held to account. The rest of the operational team are Colonel Brenda Hollis, Defense Intelligence, CIA, U.S. Air Force, Senior Trial Counsel, and now prosecutor. James C. Johnson, U.S. Army expert, 20 years on conventional and special operations, Chief of Prosecutions for the SCSL. Alan White, 30 years, Defense Intelligence, recalled from retirement to head up investigations at the Special Court of Sierra Leone. Stephen J. Rapp came on board as chief prosecutor for a short time of experience from Capitol Hill, where he served with the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee sometime before. It came as no surprise to me that as a reward of sorts for Stephen Rapp's diligence in the execution of U.S. foreign policy objectives through these ad hoc tribunals, he was appointed U.S. Ambassador at Large for War Crimes issues. In support of the contextual framework of politics, on February 8, 2006, Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, prosecutor, appeared before a U.S. Congress Subcommittee on Africa, Defense Exhibit D404, and spelled out in clear terms the decision taken in support of regime change in Liberia and what needed to happen to solidify that process. There was little mention, if any, in his testimony about Sierra Leone. And here is what he said. I posted that 5 years from now, when the international community is challenged by other crises, Taylor in Calabar, under the protection of Nigeria, will make his move. We will wake up one morning and watch on CNN as Taylor rides triumphantly down the main street in Monrovia to the executive mansion, daring all of us to come and get him. Unless he is handed over to the special court for Sierra Leone, this scenario is not. Do we assure Liberia's future? And he answers that. Ultimately, he says, what we do about Taylor in the next several weeks will determine the fate of Liberia and the new administration of its president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Crane then sets out several plans, two of which I'll state here. He said, first, hand Charles Taylor over to the special court for Sierra Leone for a fair trial, his kind of trial. This takes him out of the local and regional dynamics that is West Africa. Second, tie any financial and political support to good governance in Liberia. Time does not permit, but the exhibits are present. Not even the Nigerian nation was spared from threats and intimidation acts explained by Femi Kayode, press secretary to President Obasanjo, the Nigerian head of state, who was with him in Washington when President George W. Bush promised, and I quote, to bring Nigeria to its knees if Taylor was not turned over to the special court. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and capitulated. Now, this demonstrates the significant pressure that was brought to bear on President Obasanjo, irrespective of his personal and leadership obligations to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful Western leaders.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop slipping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and little abuse us. So why? Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So I said they lie.
Oh yes, tonight seems toxic. And as toxic as the night looks, I think it also comes with some huge level of excitement from across the citizens' own perspective about their government. It's the 21st of October. It's Tuesday in the Republic of Liberia. Open your eyes. Look within. Look within and ask yourself, are you satisfied with the life you are living? Open your eyes. Look deep within and ask yourself, are you satisfied with the life you are living? Bob Marley. Let me say a very, very pleasant good evening to all of you across the country. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you in the diaspora. Our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics, and even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them, like the way we are coming to say some of them tonight. It's good to have all of you joining us tonight on the Tuesday's edition of the show. This is Freedom Hard Talk. This is 87.9. This is Freedom FM. And we are broadcasting live to you from the nation's capital, Monrovia. It's good to have all of you joining us tonight. Very interesting conversations we want to have tonight on the different issues. So that the government continues to lie to us. So the Unity Party folks are about to build. They are about to construct
The government betray us.
16 structures across the country. You didn't get me. I said the Unity Party, the ruling party that could not afford to pay $100,000 for her party property in Kangata, is about to construct 16 giant-sized structures across the 15 counties
Let us to allow
in the name of building party headquarters.
which they preach indeed and now you
What does that say about the fight against corruption? What does that say about preventing waste in public service?
please don't be
What do we think about that? About the UP's decision to build 16 giant-sized structures across the country?
you screw us, you use us and I have been broken. I'm telling you, bro.
I think it's important that we checkmate those people
Why are they
before they wreak and deplete all of our resources within our covers.
people tired? They tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then step they delay. People suffer. No work for people.
So the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission has provided an update.
Vision and your mission.
And you need to read portion of that update provided by the Liberia Anti-Corruption. It is discouraging, as I said.
So now we are.
It is damaging. And it is also exposing the government.
The government betray us.
So we'll look into what the LCC has said on today at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing. We are going to use their own report
The people,
to deal with them.
the government betray us.
So yes, tonight those are the two major issues we are having conversation about tonight. It's important. The Unity Party folks are building 16 giant-sized structures across the 15 counties, 2 in Maserado County and 14 in the other 14 counties. Where are they taking the money from?
You tired with the promises that led us to allow the damages.
This is scary.
You tired with that.
Our country is bleeding,
And you need
and we have to talk. We must talk,
to frustrate.
and we must talk collectively to engage these folks
You still
and prevent the waste, the wasteful spending of our resources. Taxpayers' monies are being counties,
Why?
and we have to talk about this.
Why? But that the question that we ask.
So yes, we focus on these two issues tonight. So I hear that the Ministry of Information has something to say today about Mr. Weir or stuff. I will try to watch the video and listen to it and see who spoke, because we're not going to waste our time responding to anybody here on this platform.
Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation. You got nothing to show. Nothing.
So let's go. This show is proudly sponsored by Crime Stopper Liberia. Very shortly, let's take a break from our sponsor. When we come back, we will welcome all of you who are joining us tonight on the show, and we'll run into the different issues. There's also I have just received a report on the Liberia Electricity Corporation. I don't know why these guys are extremely corrupt and devilish in their stealings. Tomorrow we're spending time on the Liberia Electricity Corporation. I just received a damn report. Millions of dollars cannot be accounted for. Over 70 to 80 million US dollars cannot be accounted for at the Liberia Electricity Corporation. We have that report. We're going to delve into that report tomorrow and expose these gangsters and criminals residing over our country. Let's take a break from our sponsor, Crime Stopper Liberia. When we return, we go into the different issues. Don't mind those folks. Joe Braga is sick. That's all I can say. Braga is sick.
You screw us, you use use us and they don't abuse us. So why? We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia.
Thank you, Omen Sam Sion. Let's move now to our Facebook page and see a lot of commenters are here tonight. Hope we can exhaust all of them within a space of 5 minutes or 4 minutes or under 5 minutes. Alaska Pay from India, Honorable J.D. Williams, welcome to the show from Johnsonville. Mawata Bediti, she says, good evening, Austin. Ansu Famule is following from Broadville. Juje Wonwe is joining the show tonight from Johnsonville. Stephen Yagadi is joining the show tonight from Lower Magibi County. Ellis Ketor Flomo has joined us as well. Asata Miller from Soul Clinic. Clady Addison is joining tonight. Yes, sure, the cold is getting better. I think you can tell from my voice. Welcome to the show, Clady Addison. Bokari Sharif has joined us as well from the borough of New Kutan. Who's next? Phoenicius Junior Bar is following from District 16. William W. Wuru is joining the show tonight from Cardwell. Saint Mayowe has joined us from ELWA. Frederick Cole is following from Pinsville. Henry To is following tonight from Cardwell. Mohammed Masakwe has joined us from District 14. Junior Sikwe is following the show. Darundi is joining the show tonight from ELWA. Johnson Mohammed Balo from Broadville. Welcome all of you. Justice Baker, Peter Tukpa, Helena Wilson, City Geeks from Sastan. Welcome all of you. Saturday Wonduwe is joining tonight from the US. Tina Lorenzo, it's been a while. Tina, welcome back. I know you can be complaining. Whole day, I say me and AB giving you a hard time. Say me and AB confusing them. They have to be flipping between. Okay, so Tina Lorenzo, welcome. Christian Sigbe, welcome. Mona Sharif from New Georgia are all following tonight. Kuda Williams, welcome to the show. Nathan Jabadia from Sino. Nathan Kume is also following. Sweet Midi. Sweet Middle is joining the show from Grand Bassa. Again. Sweet Middle. From Grand Bassa. UJ Dave is joining the show, is following. Mohammed Jesse is also joining. Morris, who is that? Sabia Hine, welcome to the show. Edwin Saka, Verma Macintosh Clark from Norway, Lazo Toure. All of you, welcome to the show. Zika C from Ganta Marcos Jida is following the show. Ellis Ketor Flomo, Grace Young, all of you from Grand Jida, Grace, Councilor Chokon, Sewani. It's been a while as well from Habel. Welcome back, Edix, Flomo, Aliyu, Kamara. All of you, it's good to have all of you joining the show tonight, folks. Something is happening with the Bwakas government. So we So the Ghana Web is reporting tonight. It's reporting, sorry. This report was published about 3 days ago. And a colleague from Ghana just forwarded this to me. And it's captioned Parliament petition to remove President Mahama. Like I said, this article is published in the Ghana Web, GHANAWEB. Ghana Web is a word, a single word, one word. But the difference is the web is spelled with cap in the middle, capital W. So it's capital GHANA and capital WEB. That one word for the Ghana, the G is bold letter, and the web is cap. Sorry, G is cap, B, W is cap. So Parliament petition to remove President Mahama, the running mate of the Convention People's Party, the CPP, for the 2024 presidential election, Wayo Ganamananti, has announced that he has filed a petition for Parliament to start an impeachment procedure against President John Dramani Mahama. Speaking on a panel discussion on Joe Pram on October 18, 2025, Ganamananti, who is a lawyer, said that he had filed a petition in Parliament for the president to be removed in accordance with Article 69 of the Ghanaian Constitution. He asserted that Mahama must be removed from office because he has failed in the fight against illegal small-scale mining, commonly known as Galamsey. He accused Mahama of deceiving the people of Ghana and he who fight Galamsey when he became president just to win power in the 2024 elections. I was clear that when we come, Galamsey will be off because we are stopping all licenses. And at the end of the day, the NDC used the system of being angry about Galamsey, capitalize on it so that let's put the fire on the NPP. They come into power and it's the same thing. So I just for illegal money. Yeah? Just because Mahama has not taken any significant step to fight, to tackle, to stop illegal money. Yeah? Yeah, illegal money. I'm saying just because there are bigger political and governance issues that other people can proceed as, that border on constitutional violation, unlike some administrative ineptitudes and all of that, or discrepancies. In this case, the CPP say because John Mahama has refused to take decisive actions and to significantly stop the illegal money in Ghana, he has presented or filed a petition to the Parliament to remove him from office. In Liberia, we are still fantasizing and romancing Joe Barker, even though he's sleeping on our presidency, and we still see nothing wrong with it. We say, yes, Joe Barker, you can continue. All is well. Eh? People are faking leadership, governance. Seriously. Just one refusal or delay to promise to deliver on your promise. They start to fight you, even if the intention is political, but the political prayer is intended to mount political pressure on the government to deliver. To deliver. So you want to lay on your right to sleep, there will be pressure from there. You want to twist on your left to relax, there is a pressure from there. You want to lay back to relax, there is a pressure from there. You want to bend over before you to on your hand to nap, there is a pressure from before you. So there's a pressure from everywhere, every corner to ensure that the government works for its people. 4 years the Ghanaians have. 4 years, we have 6 years. But all these damning and damaging reports continue to surface. When we start to read to look into the LEC report tomorrow, some of you who are even thinking about coming to Liberia for vacation, you might divert your trip to another country. Yes, the country is hard, and the officials are extremely arrogant and corrupt in their arrogance. Yes, nothing is happening here, and that's why we welcome what Fonati wants to propose to the legislature. I'm going to read that for you. Sadly, we lost one of our colleagues, Vannin Joseph. May his soul rest in peace. We're told that Vannin passed off hours ago, and but family sources have confirmed his passing. And those of you who may have interacted with him, those of you who may not have known him, he was a brave young man, you know. Yeah, he was a brave guy. He couldn't mince his words. He will look you in the face and tell you what he wants to tell you, and he'll be done with it. And he wouldn't hold malice, you know. Yeah, that's the kind of person I knew him to be. But again, we've lost him. Influential student leader in our country. But he's no more. So may his soul rest in peace. Let's move on. I'm told that the government alone, he died in India. And I'm told that the government, the family members, along with the government through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, are currently arranging the arrival of his remains to the country. And we urge all of us to keep his family members in our prayers. So this is what Fonati Kofa wrote on his Facebook page. By the way, I just came across Joe Burger recording where he said he's leaving alone. We're going to play that in the middle of the show. And Councillor Kofa writes, on Thursday, I will present a letter on the floor calling for the creation of a USD 25 million social safety net fund dedicated to helping our vulnerable people pay school fees and rent. When the town is hard, the government must intervene. Even the great United States provides relief through food stamps and other social programs. We can fund this initiative by cutting our benefits, reducing foreign travels, limiting vehicle purchases, redirecting resources from LPRC, and borrowing from NASCOP. Our people are restless and crying for relief. The time is hard, and we must act now. The town is hard. The country is hard. University graduates cannot find job to do. Those who are about to leave the different universities are complaining they cannot even meet their financial obligations. That's how difficult it is. I remember the 6 years CDC was in power. University students, university graduates were not paying graduation fees. If they paid to the schools were refunding their fees because the government, the president was paying those fees. And almost all of the universities benefited from that gesture for 6 years. I think besides AMEU, because AMEU never invited him anyway to at their programs. But all the universities that invited him over, he went there, he shouldered the responsibilities for their fees, their graduation fees. But the country is hard. Some of you were here and you went back. You experienced, you know what we're talking about. Open the telephone lines right now, which I'm going to do. I'm going to open the telephone lines for 10 minutes before we move into this interesting conversation. I want you to hear Liberians complaining. And I'm opening the line not for seditions or sympathizers of George Weah. We want Liberians to call, even though seditions are Liberians, when they are experiencing hardship, they shouldn't hide it. But the country is hard, extremely hard. You walk in the street on a daily basis, 10-15% begging. No offense to those people. They didn't create the situation for themselves. This government made things difficult. This government made situations very hard for the people. So no offense to them, but the number of beggars, have increased in the streets. You walk in, you see people looking decent. They're stopping you, asking you for money for $100, $200 to go and find food to eat. That's how difficult, that's how hard the country is. Employees, people who are working cannot even. There was a protest early this morning at Leptiaco. Employees there were protesting for their salaries, arrears, calling for the resignation of the head of the entity. And heard them singing, "Zachia, come down from the Sakomo tree." This is how disturbing and distorting governance has become under Joe Braga. Braga is, they're causing lacerations on every sector of the country. Yet, they see nothing wrong with these things. They care less. Whether the State Department will issue a report alleging or widespread corruption, increase in bribery, that investors will come here, they do not have access to relevant government officials unless they pay bribes to meet them and to go back. These are disturbing news for our country. But guess what? Over $70 million undocumented cannot be accounted for at LEC. Like I said, we're going to delve into that tomorrow, that report. It is disturbing. It's disturbing. And the Unity Party folks are telling us that they are constructing 16 giant-sized structures across the country in the name of building party headquarters. Then they go back to the World Bank and the Americans and the IMF to beg them for funding to pay civil servants' salaries. They go back salaries. They just celebrated $26 million grant. Or loan as part of our extended credit facility. They got the money here. They are not investing the money to boost the economy. And they are talking about constructing 16 giant-sized headquarters across the country. Have you heard about that before in African politics or anywhere in the world? Where political party will construct 16 structures. You got 6 years to be in power. You've wasted 2 years. The remaining 4 years, the party is going to build 16 structures. Imagine you are building 16 elementary schools in 16 counties. It's in 16 locations, Just imagine. Wasteful spending. So this is what the LCC, listen to what the LCC said today. And I told y'all, we are not going to use, everything we say to you, factual. So what we are doing, we are using their own platforms. We are using their platforms, the platforms that they think or they say they consider independent. We use them. This is what OKFM is reporting. Listen, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission has reported that the government lost more than $6.5 million and $17.9 million Liberian dollars to corruption-related activities across various state institutions. This is coming from the LACC just a day after we flagged the U.S. State Department report on the Americans are saying that Liberia is experiencing widespread corruption in public service and that public officials demand bribes to hold meetings and interactions with investors. Just after we flagged that report, LACC is reporting that the country lost $6.5 million US plus 17.9 million, almost 18 million Liberian dollars. She said to corruption-related activities across various state institutions. This is under Joe Barker. 2 years in power. They have recorded the highest corruption cases. I can't read them for you. I can't call the number. 2 years in power. This government has recorded the highest number of corruption cases in a year. Eddie was in power for 12 years. Eddie never recorded 20 corruption cases in 1 year. Under the UP government, just between July to October, you can hear the number of cases, corruption cases that this government has recorded. They continue. They say, speaking Tuesday at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing, LACC Executive Chairperson Council Alexandra Zoe said the losses stem from ongoing investigations into fund misappropriation, procurement fraud, and other financial crimes. She stressed that the commission remains focused on recovering stolen assets and strengthening Liberia's anti-corruption systems. So announced that 98 cases are currently under review. 98 cases under 2 years. But guess what? They didn't stop there. Out of the 98 cases, they said 48 new investigations launched between July to October. Folks, July, August, September, and October, right? Today is the 21st. 3 months and 3 weeks. July, August, September, and October. 3 months, and 3 weeks. Just within 3 months and 3 weeks, 48 cases, corruption cases. Not me saying that. This is what OKFM is reporting that Alexandra Zoe from the LACC said. When somebody tells you this government is extremely corrupt, this is what we're saying. This is the evidence coming from their own LACC. Let me read that for you again. You didn't hear it. So announced that 98 cases are currently under review, including 48 new investigations launched between July and October. Folks, tell me, name all the corruption cases you heard under Joe Weah government for 6 years. They will not be more than 5. You know why? Because people were careful how they proceeded. All the ones, I don't say corruption cases that were not being, I said just the year the ones you heard, a year the person corrupt, just a year see. They didn't read 20 for 6 years. This is the United Party government that came to fight corruption. Can you imagine that a government that has 6 years in power has recorded 98 corruption cases in 1 year? So announced that 98 cases are currently under review. So let's assume, or let's say, out of the 98 cases, the CDC government, let's say assume which is not the case, it still means that around 48 cases, at least 48 cases, at least 48 cases corruption cases have been recorded under UP government under 2 years. So divide 48 by 2 years. Give 24 to 22. Give 24 cases to 2024. Give 24 cases to 2025. And give 24 to each year. And see how many corruption cases will have been recorded as soon as leaves power. You get the point? Let's do the math. LACC has reported that currently, as I am talking to you, she is reviewing 98 corruption cases. Let me repeat. I'm saying to you that this UP government, LACC, the LACC boss has said to us that she is reviewing 98 corruption cases just in a year. But let's say the 98 corruption cases that the LACC boss is reviewing, let's say 48 of those cases, or 50% of those cases, scheme for CDC. It means there are 48 at least, because out of 98 cases, 50%, be around 49, 49 cases, right? So let's say the list that 48 cases. So let's divide 48 cases by 2 years, representing 2024 and 2025. So we say that 28, right? So we mean 28 cases were reported in 2024. That probability here in economics. So we mean that 28 cases here, 2024 times 6 years. So what we're saying is, even though this is not the reality I'm giving you, the LACC is saying 48 new cases are currently being investigated. But because we want to be lenient with the UP government, we say, okay, all of those 48, they're divided into 2. But she said 98 cases. So I divided by 50%. I gave 50% to CDC. The other 50%, I gave it to UP, then I divided it into 2 again. I gave 50% to 2024, 50% to 2025, with the understanding that there might be equal or more corruption cases in 2026 and moving to 2027, 2029. So we say, assuming that there are 24 corruption cases reported. Yeah, I meant 24, I said 28. 24 times 6. Assuming that 24 corruption cases are reported annually, it means that by the time the Unity Party government is leaving power, she must have recorded at least or a minimum of 144 cases, corruption cases. Did you get the number? I said, assuming that at least 24 corruption cases are recorded every year under the UP government, and you multiply 24 times 6 years, it means when the UP is leaving power, or when the UP is going for re-election in 2029, the UP will have at least 144 corruption cases recorded. 144 corruption cases recorded. That's the bare minimum that the UP will have to defend or that will confront the UP at the ballot box in 2029. But that's not the case. The real case that is before us is that 98 corruption cases are being investigated by the Unity Party. And Mr. Bwaka is aware. He's in the know. He's a real corrupt person in this case. His clothes, shoes, private jet, renovating his house, outside PPCC process. Today, we do not know where they procure materials from, where they took money from to upgrade Bwaka house, totaling over $500,000 US. We don't know. So Bwaka began his government with, on corruption note. LCC said 98 cases. 98 cases, according to LCC. And guess what? And they are talking about, and they've started, in fact, building 16 new structures for their political parties. For their political party. 16 new buildings. Nobody knows. They have not said to anybody where they're taking the money from. They have not said to anybody what's the cost of their project, who is financing the projects. They will not tell you, because even the one that is being built in Foya, Joe Bwaka said he can't tell nobody, and nobody should tell anybody who owns the project, who's financing the project, what's the project is being constructed in Lofa, and nobody can state your whole country, somebody can building something in your country, and the government does not know. Or the government says she does not know and she's not going to speak to it. Hey, Jesus. How did we get here, my people? 16 buildings. 16. That just party headquarters. They're going to be 15 in the 15 counties. So Montserrat will have 2, because Montserrat will have her Montserrat office and then the national headquarters. So it means they're building 2 in Montserrat. So that's 16 structures they're building across the country to call party headquarters. This is a waste. This is public waste. This is an abuse of power. And we will continue to emphasize. It seems that the Americans and our partners are not listening to us. I don't know why these guys keep opening the doors to these useless people in government. The Americans are here. They call themselves. They want us to consider them as our partners. We're flagging these things every day. They are not taking action. They are not doing anything. And they keep opening the doors to these corrupt individuals. Why are they opening the doors to Liberian officials? Why are the Americans even giving a visa to go to their country? If anything happens in this country, beginning next year, some of us will not be flagging any report from the U.S. State Department anymore. And I'm serious about this. Beginning next year, some of us will not be flagging any report that comes from the U.S. State Department, because the Americans are only sitting there writing reports. They are taking no action against these corrupt individuals. 2024, you reported that these individuals in government were soliciting bribes from investors. 2024, you reported that corruption was on the increase, widespread corruption in public sector. In 2024, you, the Americans, reported that our judicial system was weak. In 2025, you have reported the same things. It means there has been no change. Look, there have been no change. So the fact that there has been no change, why are the Americans awarding visas and all of this to these officials to go to their country? Why are they not placing travel ban on these individuals? And they keep coming and running to you for assistance, and you keep using your influence to talk to World Bank, IMF, to soften the ground behind the scene, to the extent that you even opening your doors to them. The MCC is coming here and say they have sitting down to have a conversation with them for a possible compact. And the IMF is telling you they extended their credit facility. The country is corrupt. International platforms, reputable institutions are reporting that the country is corrupt and officials are corrupt. The LACC is reporting that 98 cases are being investigated. Out of the 98 cases, 48 of those cases occurred between June and October. Can you imagine? The country is so corrupt. So when the Americans speak about widespread corruption, this is what they're referring to. The fact that within 4 months, 48 corruption cases flagged. 48 corruption cases. And guess what? Ask yourself, where are those officials? Where are they? Ask yourself, where are the individuals who are being investigated? Look, we're not ready. We are not ready. Yeah, some of the cases are feeble, I know that, because some of them are politically motivated cases and all of that. So they have to fetch out the good ones and from the bad ones and all of that. But this is scary. It's alarming. We really thought that under Joe Biden, officials were going to be afraid to even engage into graft. We really thought that under Joe Biden, we would not have heard any conversation or news or report about corruption in his government. Because the old man from the Baptist church promised to fight corruption in public sector. These corruption reports will come out, and Joe Biden will support and protect the individuals that are involved in the corrupt activities. Mamaka Belete is seated right in his office. A woman walking, parading the street, parading public service with a nasty, stink, and dirty character and reputation. She is still in his office. He has not taken any action against her. They overstated the procurement, they overstated the cost for the yellow machines. Not just that they overstated the cost for the yellow machine, the entire procurement process was bypassed and avoided. And they went there, man-to-man conversation, person-to-person discussion to procure yellow machines. What has Baka done? So if Baka does not even have the balls, Baka does not even have the moral wherewithal to say, to look into Mamaka Belete and say, you are dismissed. He does not have the political scout to say, Mamaka Belete, go on that side. It makes his character unimpeccable to talk about corruption. It renders his voice in the conversation about corruption useless. It renders his appearance distasteful because he does not have the moral, he does not have the balls to fight corruption, to take actions, decisive actions against individuals that are accused and that are being investigated for corrupt activities. The old man himself is corrupt. So how is he going to even take action against those who are being investigated? How is he? From the day Joe Biden allowed the usage of $500,000 to upgrade his home outside PPCC process, today we do not even know the actual government source of the money that upgraded Braga's house. All we're hearing is he got black money or from some terrorist group that bought him through his children and brought to the country, and they found his place. They upgraded his house. That's all we know. Upgraded your house. Today, his friends can send him private jet to ride to go to Gambia. Today, Baka can sit down and say, we are building 16 giant-sized structures across the 15 counties to represent our party headquarters. Where's the money coming from? Nobody cares. What's the cost of the project? Nobody wants to talk about it. But the country is okay. Everybody is eating 3 times a day. Joe Biden is not corrupt. The government is making progress. Our roads are being paved. Our electricity is being expanded. Our electricity is not cheap, affordable, and stable. It can't even go off. That's the message we're taking to the people, right? That the government is not corrupt, the government is okay, we're making progress as a country, everything is fine, things prices are low, the market women are not complaining anymore, those living in the slum communities now have food to eat, they have safe drinking water, yes, their roads are good, the children's school fees are being paid on time, yes, the children can go to school, they're going to good schools, the teachers are being trained, the nurses are being trained, the nurses are being well paid, the teachers are being paid on time, the brown people are no more protesting. Folks, these are the messages these guys want us to communicate to you. And they say you will not get vexed or you should not get vexed. That all is well. We are eating in time. Go to the market. The things are cheap. The people in Dole community now, they have safe drinking water. The water is running through Dole community to Claratown, to West Point, to Flagbar in Lockington, or Tower Street, or whatsoever, Carpet Street, and all of that in Nikutan. They have pipe on water running. Cheap, affordable. The LDC can't even BAP. Their salaries are being increased. They are not taking pay. They are not taking pay on time. Civil servants, the government does not owe any civil servant in the country. But Ministry of Information folks have officially written their bosses. Oh, the country is not corrupt. But LCC says 90 cases are being reviewed. Of the 98 cases, 48 of those cases were recorded between June to October. It means it says to you that corruption is on the increase in our country. More and more officials are engaging into public corruption, public stealing. That's why it says more people are corrupt. How can a government record 48 cases just under 4 months? Just within a period of 4 months, the government that is supposed to be fighting corruption, the government that is not supposed to be corrupt, has recorded at least 48 cases under 4 months. Where have you heard that before? That number of corruption cases. Where have you heard that? That under 4 months, our government has recorded at least 48 cases. 48 corruption cases. Just under 4 months. And when you call these guys multi-banks and charlatans, then they get vexed. But that's what they are. They are a group of liars, a group of crooks, bunch of political gangsters and economic vampires, just roaming the public sector corridor, looking for a space, any available space to milk and suck everything out of our governance system and dump them into their pockets. That's all they know to do. Lie, against by opening their arms and run a room around the place. Jeremiah Kun, we're coming for you. We're coming for you. Jeremiah Kun, we're coming for you. That arrangement at LPRC, where LPRC say they're bringing in gasoline and all of that, that deal will destroy Jeremiah Kun before 2029. I'm saying this to the end. I can say my thing way ahead of time, right? Watch the show. That deal at LPRC, what they say the government is importing our products. I'm saying this tonight. I'm not ready to talk about EU. I just putting it on the list. Y'all should record this today for the future. And now y'all will call me to say, Austin, I remember on the 21st of October 2025, you said that the deal at LPRC, where the government say she is bringing in her own products, that deal will destroy Jeremiah Kun before 2029. Y'all mark it down today. Y'all mark it down. There is nothing about that deal that I don't know. There's nothing about that arrangement that I don't know. But there is time for everything. The same way I sat there and said, hey, there is a rape case from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, but I'm not going to talk about it until the appropriate time reaches. When the appropriate time reach, you saw everything, right? Mark it tonight. Tomorrow, we will be on LDC. We're not causing nobody, man. But there's no guarantee that we will not cause. The only way we will not let is when the UP many decide not to let. If they don't let, just how you see tonight, the conversation, my entire discussion is on the issues. It's about governance. It's about our people. It's about the living conditions of our people. It says that we're able to sustain this debate straight up to 2029 without using one invective on this radio. But when you consider this maturity, when you consider this civilization to be a weakness, we shall come after you. Yeah. Who are we talking about? Joe Baka. Information minister say anything on our podium that it makes sense. That he been use that podium to insult. We take it to Joe Baka bed. The chair is sit down into when they feeding him in the morning. That he play will take it. That they play will take it. So criticism, yes, you can criticize. Like I said yesterday, you can criticize George Weah. He's a political figure. Yeah, he's a political leader. He's former president. He has a history of serving. He was not perfect, and he would never be perfect. Not even Joe Baka will come close to perfection. So obviously, there is a room and there is a justifiable reason to critique or criticize George Weah. But when you when you transform your criticism or you decide to elevate your criticism into an insult or using invectives or sending invectives at him or a wife, then it becomes an issue now and we are going to reply proportionally. We take it inside a bedroom. Because we know plenty of things that some of you at Ministry of Information do not even know about Joe Baka. But when we say governance, yes, he's the head. So focus on his policies, not on the size of the trouser he wears. We focus on his policies. He promised to fight corruption. Corruption is sleeping in bed, butt naked in bed with Joe Baka, romancing him in bed. But Joe Baka promised to fight corruption. But you can see, Corruption is lying down in bed, butt naked in bed with Joe Barker, romancing Joe Barker's chest. In broad day, everybody can see it. Everybody is seeing that corruption is butt naked, rooming butt naked in Barker's bed and romancing him. And he's wearing the DPS of smart that we've never seen in our country. 98 corruption cases. If corruption was not romancing Joe Barker, we will not be reporting 98 corruption cases in this country in a year. And 48 cases just under 4 months. That's because Barker has married corruption. He married corruption. Corruption did not marry him. He married corruption. He married corruption, making corruption his second wife. So today, you see Joe Barker and corruption are having fun in the public spheres with no sense of remorse or regret that the country, that corruption is plunging our people into abject, extreme poverty. And he's doing nothing to solve the problem because he has decided to take corruption to the altar as his second wife. When you have a president who will go to campaign and promise to fight corruption, and when the people say, we will try you and give you power, he comes to power, he throws the people away, he neglects the people, he ignores their voices, he steps on their tears, and does what? And invite corruption to the eye and deposit a ring. He deposit a golden ring on the finger of corruption as his second wife. That is the biggest betrayal to the people's trust, to the people's power. The people did not see this coming. If Barker had told Unity Palestinians at the official launch of his campaign and at the official climax of his campaign that he was if he becomes president, he will build 16 giant-sized structures across the 15 counties as party headquarters, I'm sure those 20,000 people who voted for Joe Barker to make him president would have never voted for him. I'm sure about that. You can see it. No, let's face it. Call those 20,000 human beings back, stand in queue and say, this is Barker's agenda. Corruption will increase under my regime. Corruption will increase under my regime. Not just that, but I will construct 16 buildings across the 15 counties for the Unity Party. I will build my private home in Lofa, and I will not be answerable to any of you. I will support any malicious or terrorist group in the legislature headed by Richard Kuhn that will decide that will remove the speaker illegally. And if they go to the Supreme Court to intervene, the decision that the Supreme Court will take, I will support the malicious group or the group of rebel lawmakers to disrespect the decision that comes from the Supreme Court. If Barker has said that to you during campaign, you would not have voted for him. So when we say to you that Barker is a liar, these are the evidence. They lie to you to rush them or run them into power, and they steal from you. They don't come back to you. They don't care about you. They will never care about you. They are concerned about their pockets. They are concerned about their purses. They are concerned about their bags. That's what they are concerned about, their suitcases. They're not concerned, the briefcases. They're not concerned about you. This is Liberia for you. I didn't write this report. The LCC is the one that is telling you that she is reviewing 98 corruption cases on Joe Baga, and out of the 98 corruption cases on Baga, 48 of those corruption cases were recorded between June to October. I am not the one saying it. The own LCC boss. Please tell me, if a government is so reckless, careless, and irresponsible enough to record 48 corruption cases within 4 months, what kind of progress this country is going to make? What kind of progress this country is going to make? They're just concerned about lying, passing all right, just lying, attempting to steal all of the programs and the projects that George Weah launched. Gerald Francis wrote something about the LPA that Baga running all around. I see one of the UP officials posted today say they're returning to normal days with the LPA. No. A project, an initiative that was started or launched in 2021. The guys come back, they are continuing. I was listening to former President Sharif on Dr. Larry Brobles' show, Changing Man, Changing Attitude. I was listening to the show, and President Sharif, the former president, said something during that show. She said she was happy that project that she started were continued and completed by George Weah in some instances, and some were continued but not completed in some instances, and some were not touched at all under George Weah government in some instances. So, and she's proud, she's happy that she's now seeing Joe Baga is touching some of the projects, some of her unfinished projects that were not touched by the CDC government. I think in my mind, that was a fair appreciation of succeeding governments. Yes, because man, we are had a own, legacy, his own programs in mind that he wanted to achieve as his legacy projects. Anyhow, hers. But there are legacy projects that leaders will have to share ownership. They have to share titles too. Like the RIA rule that George Weah started. That is one of Weah's legacy projects. That 20, 30 years from now, the only thing that will happen on that road now is to upgrade. But if you see the design of that road, I see them running at the digging hole to plant less on the road. That road has a whole design. The design of that road, if you see the design of that road, you'll see that, hey, that's how the road was designed, to have lights from AW Junction straight to RIA. Baga came in, he's completed. Good. We congratulate the UP government for continuing the project, even though we secure everything for them. So all they have to do is to beat on the backs of the contractors to complete the project. Mr. Weah came to power. He completed the Somalia draft project. That's one of Ellen's legacy projects. But she didn't complete it. Mr. Weah came and completed a project and consulted her to name the project the Japan Freeway and call her along to go and dedicate the project. That's leadership. That's what mature leaders do. They don't come and start taking ownership for everything that his or her predecessor started, like the UP guys are doing. They're taking ownership for everything. As if to say they are brainless people. If you guys seem to have brains, use your brains. Go to work and use your brains and initiate. Be innovative. Initiate your own projects. And we too will join you to celebrate all of your legacy projects. But stop owning projects and ideas that intellectual rogues. That's how I call them. They're intellectual rogues. Somebody said that, think properly, strategize properly. That thought becomes the person or the government's intellectual property. It becomes the government legacy. It was during we are government that the decision to bring LPA in the country was signed. Whether it was not implemented, he signed it. He brought the idea, manifested the idea, put it to paper. If it was not actualized or operationalized and Barker comes to power and he's operationalizing it, that's a fine thing. No issue. But don't start running around taking weird picture from there and putting a Barker picture there and making it to look like it is Joe Barker's intellectual property. No, it's not the intellectual property of the UP government. This is an intellectual property of the CDC government. The CDC owns it. The CDC gave birth to it. So you can't take that away from the CDC. See, the folks are running, LPA is back. LPA is back. LPA was here. It's not new. It is not new. There are people in Liberia that benefited from LPA or not CDC government. Some of them are still in government. In fact, I saw somebody did a post today on Facebook. Some of the beneficiaries went on the post and said, no, not true. I am currently benefiting from LPA. Let me call one of them. The guy said he's currently benefiting from the LPA. So this is it. So they have to understand. There are people are not reading. People are not reading. Let me read for you what Dale Francis Ware posted in 2021. Some of these guys are not reading. They don't want to research. They don't want to read. They just want to live on. They say, yes, say, I say, you say, all the saying. They don't want to read. They don't want to research on issues. And these days, technology is making it so easy for people to research on these different things. But again, anyway, how they looking? How they looking? So, Dale Francis Ware posted on August 10th, 2021. Those of you who are friends with me, I have to get Freedom Hard Talk chat room active and start to add all of you there. So we'll be posting these things in the chat room, so we don't have to be, finding it difficult to share these things with you. So I'm going to get the chat. The chat room is already open, but I just have to start adding members to it. So beginning to maybe on the weekend or this week, I'll start adding in TDTV 4455, or I will share the link and set it to approve, because I don't want to this is Freedom Hard Talk. Freedom Hard Talk for everybody. Any UB person come there and misbehave, we just remove you. That all. But for everybody. Once you are a Freedom Hard Talk follower, whether you ANC person, CDC person, UB person, that Freedom Hard Talk, once you are a follower, you have access to the chat room. So I will start adding your beginning tonight when I get home. Small. And I'll make few of you administrators too, so you can start adding others to the chat room. And then we can just start sharing these documents in the chat room. So we don't find. So Dale Francis Ware wrote. He says on tomorrow, Wednesday, August 11, 2021, the government of Liberia will officially launch the National LPA Scheme for Civil Servants. The LPA scheme will allow civil servants to purchase essential items on credit and pay through soft and monthly payroll deductions. Special thanks to Director General James Thompson and team at the Civil Service Agency and Ministry of Finance and Development Planning for their dedicated hard work to launch this program. Long live our civil servants. Long live the LPA scheme. Long live Mama Liberia. You see CDC started here? 2021. Dale Francis Ware made this post. Do you see anything in the post about long live CDC? Do you see anywhere where anybody tries to personalize this LPA thing when it was introduced in 2021? No. That UP people are now trying to personalize it, to own it, like it is their initiative. So, Kelo Wessing, the conversation is, this is not new. This is not new. This is not new. This is not an initiative of the Unity Party. That's why I want you to tell your UP folks that this is an old initiative. It is not new in our country. It is not an initiative of the Unity Party. That is the message. Don't allow any UP person to call you and tell you, say, oh, that UP people started or brought back LPA. That would be a blatant lie being told by a gangster affiliated with the Unity Party. That would be a blatant lie being told by a liar affiliated with the Unity Party. That's all they know. They know how to lie. They know how to steal your money, your resources, the taxes you pay. They know how to corrupt the system. 48 freaking cases recorded just under 4 months, corrupt cases. And they will not say anything about that because it is in the DNA. They love to steal state resources. Just as Baga was born in government, he went to school in government, got a woman in government, born a children in government, and got all his jobs on political patronage. Political patronage. That's how he got all his jobs. Nothing. He has never competed for any career job in his entire life. Baga is 81 years old. Ask him to show you one application letter that he ever wrote in his whole life for job. Baga can share old story with people. What he said with him, talking all the time story. And tell him, have you heard Joe Baga lecturing you about any career path in his life that he took? Have you heard Baga lecturing you about any competition that he went to before in your whole life? Have you ever heard Joe Baga explaining a story about how he got a job, how he applied for a job somewhere and went for an interview, or applied for scholarship somewhere and went for an interview, sat the aptitude test and passed the scholarship? Have you ever heard Joe Baga talking about setting any professional test in your whole life, saying you were born since you've been hearing? Rack, nothing, no experience. He has been surviving on political cronyism. That's how Joe Baga has been surviving. He's nothing extra. A limp dog politician. Just sitting, waiting, a political scavenger. That's what he is. That's what he is. And you want to talk Joe Baga here? We told you, do you know why I don't waste my time on Joe Baga? When you hear me talking Joe Baga, I mean, one UP may not send me test or call my phone and make me vex. That the time you talk about him. The time you talk Joe Baga, that when I'm talking my thing, then UP may go take phone and call me or send me test. That the time I can get very bad way. Because the men are fisi papi. Fisi rack. You can't get all of him. If you see old man and they want to overhype Joe Baga that he's some kind of technician or some kind of career man, that's people that a country can depend on or rely on for economic growth and economic emancipation. What is that? The man spent over 42 years in public service and could not even rescue his own life. He comes to the public and tells you that he was living on loan. Let me play for you to hear him. Telling the country how you are living on loan. Let me play. Y'all listen to him. Come and tell you how you are living on loan. That's somebody who has a career. When I see people talking, you citizens are unemployed. They should go look for a job to do. Joe Baga here, he had all the experience. He has never established one firm in his entire life to employ 2 human beings. He has been sitting waiting to scavenge on public service. You have a political scavenger in Joe Baga, then you won't be talking about other people how they should go find job to do. Baga had a job. When Eddie handpicked him, because you were already looking sorrowful, they didn't have anything to do. They didn't know anybody. Eddie handpicked me, said, "Let's go do lucky ticket. And if we win, you be vice president." and he kept him on as vice president for 6 years. After 6 years, Eddie wanted to change him to bring in Antoinette Saye or Toga Gary McIntosh. He went on his knees begging, calling the people in Lofa, the chiefs and elders. We don't want to, you don't know to here. Calling the chiefs and elders in Lofa to go beg Eddie to carry him back as vice president for the second term. If Baka had career path or Baka had any expertise in anything, why he not go open agriculture firm? Why he not go open farm in Lofa? Why he go form some kind of company to employ you? To carry him back as vice president to all, and then we'll be talking about Joe Baka here. What better Joe Baka? What better Joe Baka? Oh, the people can hear Joe Baka, experience. What kind of experience Joe Baka had? Where did he work? Besides outside government, how many jobs did he provide? No history, no legacy, nothing. His children, if Baka dies today, his children, his wealth will not inherit one investment from him. One. At that age, 48, 49 years now running in public service. At that age, Baka die at that age, nothing will be left for his children to inherit in terms of investment. He was working, he was stealing money, he was dismissed for corruption by Samuel Doe. All the money he stole, what did he do with it? He put it in Ray Bank. What did he do with the money he stole? Where did he invest his money? What kind of company does he have a history of opening? What kind of agricultural firm or consultancy firm that he established in this country to train students graduating from the agricultural college at the University of Liberia? Has Baka ever entered classroom on your campus to say he's going to teach agriculture? Even before becoming vice president, what was he doing? Have you ever heard in your life that Joe Baka teaching somewhere in one school? All his friends came down with their career and their emphasis. They were teaching the different universities. Have you ever heard Joe Baka tell you anybody say, "Oh yeah, I sat in class under Joe Baka, he was teaching me so and so"? Small baby girl Emma Glasgow got to go to fishery and go to lobby with European Union people to go establish fish, to go teach fishery science at the University of Liberia. Open a whole college there to teach fishery science and administration at the University of Liberia. That whole legacy. Where Joe Baka on? He went to school free on your campus. Where his legacy? He was vice president for 12 years. Where his legacy on your campus? Oh, they are talking. Oh, John, we are play football. Where the stadium he be? Baka play football. Where they find getting a buyer? He get find a buyer? Does he have a farm in his backyard? And you gave him 6 years to be president. 98 corruption cases in 1 year. 48 of those cases we call it just under 4 months. That Baka legacy here. Extremely corrupt old man. And we want to talk governance. People are suffering. People are dying from lack of safe drinking water. People are dying from poverty. People are dying from starvation. Families are going to bed hungry tonight. Today, kids were chewing out of schools. Because the parents cannot afford to pay just the first installment. What is Baka's policy on education? George Weah brought a policy on education and said all public universities and colleges will be free. The government will pay. John Mahama celebrated that decision when George Weah made the pronouncement. When he became president for the second term, he had just announced that all public universities in Ghana free tuition. African leaders are copying for him. What is Baka's policy on education in this country? students are still struggling to pay school fees. They have to protest. Your students have to protest every day to boo Jeremiah Kun and Joe Barker. Blind people go protest today to executive marshal. Blind people, first time in my political career to hear people talking about somebody protesting. First time. I've never heard that. I've been a journalist for years, a political journalist too. Because all my life I covered Capitol building. I've seen people taking petition to the legislature, the Senate, the House. I've seen different interest groups, citizen groups going to Capitol building for over 10 years. I covered that place as a legislative reporter. I have never seen blind people go to that place to go petition somebody and say, oh, we can't do your, they come in doing this, they come in doing that, so we can't, or to go to executive mansion to go protest. Today, blind people were protesting in the street. Burger King were convoy and pass. It did not even stop. They had a workings up, showing up just for Burger to stop or for somebody in the convoy to stop. Nobody stopped to talk to those blind people. That's how heartless and clueless the old man is. Wicked old man. You get Burger King, they will come to this station here and authorize security people to come to the police to this station and kill everybody inside here. Just as they came here and bring my car. Just as they came here and bring my car and instructed people, nobody should even call that man here for investigation. That's how terrible these guys can be. That's how terrible these guys can be. A media person on the radio because he disagrees with you. You send people to burn his car. He complains to the police and the police say, we will not investigate that case. The material thing. The Bible says all these things are vanity. But God has a way of paying evildoers back. That's all they know how to do. You criticize them, they go at any length, violate the laws, breach all of the policies and procedures and protocols just to satisfy the heartless political desire. Desires that have no impact, no positive impact and effects on the governance of our country, on the lives of our people. What has Burger improved? Y'all call me and tell me, what do you know that Joe Burger has improved? What do you know that Joe Burger has changed? No, call me and tell me, say, Joe Burger changed this since he became president. Joe Weah became president on the 3 counties. I can call it 2.5. 2.5 counties. High electricity. George Weah came, what did he do? He expanded electricity to 7 counties. He didn't just expand electricity to 7 counties, to additional 7 counties. He began the construction of a hydro, a power plant in River G County. Today, as I'm speaking to you, LEC have technicians already there doing connection. Because I'm told the last 2 weeks ago, I was told that the project was nearing 89% completion. George Weah project. Burger will carry a whole set there to go dedicate that project. It will not say, Joe Weah, thank you. Or they will not do public dedication because they don't want the public to know that we have project. So we keep talking about it. A mini power plant constructed, built by George Weah in River G to supply that part of the country. Do you hear UP folks talking about it? I don't want them to. They should not be talking about it. It is our project. We should talk about it. But we are waiting for the day the project will reach 100% completion, and then they will carry him there to go dedicate, and he will go to tap. Not just in River G, in Boakas Lofa. In Boakas Lofa, there is a dam. There is a dam that we have started building in Boakas, Lofa. At the time when we were leaving power, that dam was at 60% completion. They doing where they're secretly. They think we don't know. We watching. They will complete it tomorrow and come here and say, on or 2 years, Boakas build dam in Lofa and River G. But I don't blame UP folks. When some of us were on the radio on NCDC government criticizing the our own information machinery, how they were uncoordinated and are behaving disjointed and all of that, they were not listening. Some of them had issue with us while we were criticizing the information machinery. Today, where it is, where are we? They left power without tracking or recording all the thousands of projects that Mr. Weah innovated, roll out, started in some cases, and completed in many cases. That now we're trying to even document, record all those projects that were started, the ones that were completed, the ones that are left uncompleted, the ones that didn't get completed. Eh? All those projects. But again, those are part of the challenges or the missteps. So when I say George Weah was in power, he's not perfect. He was not perfect. He is never going to be a perfect human being once he's in human form created by God. But his heart and his intentions are good for this country. You know that Weah's agenda was going to render the United Party useless. And that's why they did not want, and they started to threaten our peace. Intimidate the citizens not to turn out to vote. Discharging live bullets at the convoy of George Weah doing a campaign rally on the Somalia Drive. Stoning Tamamomo to death. Chasing Joshua. Empowering Queen Johnson to chase Joshua and beat him to death. Those were the initiatives they were undertaking. Those are the things they were doing just to scare the citizens not to come out to vote. Can I say it played to their favor? No. Because they manipulated the election in Nima. But that is history. The president has conceded, and that is history. But at times, it's good that these guys be reminded that we know a lot, but we say less. Because we are equally or even more concerned about the peace and stability of this country than any Unity Party executive. A party that is concerned about the peace and stability of this country, a party that is concerned about the welfare of its people, a party that is concerned about preventing waste in public service, will not be announcing the construction of 16 giant-sized structures in the 15 counties, just in the name of building party headquarters because the CDC is building one. This is public waste. This is a gross abuse of power. You can abuse power boldly, arrogantly abuse power. You know the UP is broke as an institution. You know the UP people, even if they take all their salaries and put it together for one straight year and say, you're going to pay headquarters, it can build 16 headquarters. If all the UP partisans in the country who are employed in government will take their government salaries, don't touch it, only deduct tax, and put the money together to go, it can build 16 structures across the country. Where is the money coming from? Obviously, government money. Luther Tappe is sitting at the port as board chair. Segu Dougle was born as a corrupt cat. He's a kitty. To steal that nothing for that ball. For that ball to steal that nothing. Just tell us how much you want. Okay, we want 2.5 million to build our headquarters. So go to make it 3.5 day, 1 million. You get that? They will not get them for that one. But that other man, I lean. I know why I say I lean for. There are plenty of reasons. So then he enjoys it. Let's say go have fun. If you want to take state money, state resources to build party headquarters, challenge the Unity Party. I challenge the UP. The UP build a party headquarters with government money. They should pray for every day that some of us should not be around to be in public service. That the only thing we will seize all those assets and prosecute all of those who are in leadership right now. And if you know you're in leadership and you joining that conspiracy, we'll call it, I'm bringing it to the UP political conspiracy. That is a political conspiracy that has been cocktail or that has already been cocktail to siphon state resources and dump them into constructing party headquarters across the country. Some of us, we will remain lie on this. And if God gave us a chance to ever serve in government at will, those structures, all of those behind this conspiracy that has been cocktail, rest assured, you can be 99-year-old, you will go to jail. Because there's no way the UP can justify the funding to build up those headquarters. No way. There is no way the Unity Party can justify those monies that will be used to build those headquarters. There is no way. So you can be 99-year-old and you are part of this political conspiracy. You are part of the cocktailing of this political conspiracy. Rest assured, you will pay for it. You will pay for it. Nicolas Sarkozy has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. Former French president, you know why? They accuse him of campaign finance conspiracy. They said he was part of a conspiracy to siphon monies into the French election. Although the investigation uncovered that he did not have a direct role to play, he did not receive any money to say that money go campaign. No, the investigation confirmed that he did not receive $5 to say that money go campaign. But he was aware and he was part of a conspiracy that brought money into the country. He was investigated, charged, prosecuted. And as I speak to you, he is serving. Nicolas Sarkozy is going to jail for 5 years because of that. And that's what we're saying tonight. All those from the UP that are part of this UP conspiracy, that are cooking this UP conspiracy, we will jail people in the country. Watch and see. Watch the show. And this is serious. People will pay for their actions. Let's take call 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. These are the numbers to call to join the show. The WhatsApp number is active on +231 886 500 104. Let's begin taking your calls. Let's take your calls. This show is proudly sponsored by Crime Stopper Liberia, OMSM Science, and we are in partnership with Win Liberia. Let me take this break. This break.
Hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-style justice in this country. None of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia. We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero.
Thank you. Look, folks, I'll go 5 minutes late tonight. Let me use about 5 or 10 more minutes. Something is important happening in our country. The security sector is in a big mess. This is a breaking news for the entire country. Mr. Bwaka is in a deep security mess. Let me repeat. This is a breaking news. I'm about to break a news. Mr. Bwaka, the president, is in a big security mess. The president is in a big security mess. The entire EPS is divided into two. As I'm speaking to you, there is a crisis in the EPS. This information is 100% reliable, credible, sustainable, justifiable, and we can defend this before any court, not the court that is presided over by that other corrupt Chief Justice. No. This news is 100%. Do you know what has happened or what is happening now as I'm speaking to you? This is what happening in the EPS, folks. Let me position my chair. I will talk everything. Anything I want to do, you'll do it. Anything I want to do, you'll do it. I will talk all. Everything I will talk. I will talk all. Wait, let me play one song for you. Let me play one song. There's a song called Rat Race. Everything about this EPS I was talking, the EPS is in a mess. Joe Bwaka is in a mess. And if Bwaka is not careful, those EPS men will be the ones to kill him. When you have the EPS director and his deputy fighting over gun, fighting, physically battling over gun, to the extent that the EPS director wants to disarm his deputy Charles Johnson, this is a big mess. This is a breaking news. You can say it anywhere. You can tell anybody. But why does the EPS director wants to physically disarm the deputy director who is 51? The EPS director is 50. His deputy is 51. So the EPS director name is Sam Gay. Y'all know that. His deputy name is Charles Johnson. Why does what? Let me take this break. Let me take this break. This break is important.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. until we do something to serve the search of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
So what the guys are doing, you know what the calls are receiving. This show is Freedom Hard Talk. We can talk the hard issues. All the calls is even receiving. That people then calling me, lawyer then calling me, security men calling me, telling me to fuck. Not just telling me not to talk the thing I want to talk. That's lawyer then calling someone so lawyer then calling how you call it, so security man calling my man, you know, and sending me tell my man. But I'm talking it, so I'm talking or I'm not talking. The man say, man, the man say, we shouldn't talk you. But I will not talk so now. So I'll do. Let me just talk or and just forget it. I will not talk it tomorrow again. I apologize. The thing I want to talk, I will not talk it tomorrow. I will talk it tonight. Because I gotta bring the news here. So all of you who come in general are big girl. I already started talking. So I'm not going to stop. Yeah. And I start talking the thing already. So let me just talking. You don't hear the song they call Rat Race? I'll play that song. Rat Race. Yeah, Rat Race. Okay, we'll play that song. So folks, the EPS is in a big mess. Joe Biden is caught in the middle of the mess. Joe Biden, EPS director, is physically engaging his deputy director to disarm him. The EPS boss wants to disarm the deputy. I know everybody asking why. And the why part I want you to come here. Why does Semge want to disarm the EPS, the deputy EPS boss? This is the story. So, firstly, Semge is in the habit of eating the operation money for agents. You know, when they go all the time, now they give me now 75, now bulk in that operation bar, excluding the lodging and all of that, accommodation or anything. So they give it so now bulk, so now 75, 70. Semge is in the habit of instructing his people, emissaries he have in the control, in the finance office, everything, to deduct people money. So now they will give the agents $20. They give the agents $25. From 75 or 100 to 25 or $30. So that $20 to agents. Agents that are supposed to be securing the environment for the president and manning the president. You are only paying them and they are aware how much their per diem is, but you are cutting it down. 75 to 80% cut in their per diem. And the agents are aware that you're cutting their per diem. They know the amount and they are aware that you're cutting it. They send them to man the president. How effective do you think they will be? If they are effective, it means that all those loyalty and nationalism, patriotism to country. That's one. But the agents have been raising the issues. The story is told that the agents have been raising the issue, complaining to 51. And every time they go to complain that but you when I give 25, 51 will say no. Your pardon should be so and so amount. How can you? No. Let me follow up. To follow up, you realize that, authority say. Authority say. Authority say. We receive instruction from authority. So the people tired hearing that they're receiving instruction from authority, while the authority keeps instructing people to cut the agent's money. When they go to man the president always say now he's scared. He's shouting Joe Barack ear, said he will faint. You sit down here, Joe Barack, and shout in his ear, Barack will faint. Then the agents that are supposed to be manning him, you eating their monies, causing dissatisfaction and stirs amongst them. But that's not the real. That's not only. Same guy got angry. He got angry with the constant inquiries about the agent's money. So he requested for the last 2 weeks, for over 2 weeks, same guy who did not appoint the deputy for the deputy EPS boss, same guy who does not appoint the deputy EPS boss, same guy who the deputy EPS boss does not work for. For the last 2 weeks, he has been requesting the deputy EPS boss to present his credential. Imagine who are we using? Who the deputy? Who the famous deputy? Okay, just imagine Amos Twe is asking Eric Sikisai to submit his credential to Amos Twe. That's looking. So the EPS boss was brave to ask the deputy EPS boss, Charles Johnson, to submit his credential to him. And Charles Johnson was like, who the hell are you that are coming submit submit my credential to? That you appoint me? That you employ me? Do I work for you? When did they start? What's getting over you? So after the 2 weeks, Charles Johnson did not submit his credential as requested by the arrogant same gay, the other illiterate one. So the illiterate same gay now got angry that over 2 weeks, the deputy has refused to submit his credentials to his same gay. So same gay got angry and instructed agents to pack the vehicle, the official vehicle of Charles Johnson. Not just that, he asked the agents to turn 51. Anyway, see 51, it means that's the official vehicle of Charles Johnson, deputy EPS boss. Same guy said the deputy EPS boss, he instructed that the deputy EPS boss should pack the vehicle, his official vehicle, assigned to him by the government as a result of his appointment by the president. He said, pack your car, turn your gun over, and instructed all the staffers in Charles Johnson's office to shut the office down and go home. Can you imagine that, folks? The the EPS director is requesting his deputies to submit his credential. He refuses to submit his credential. He says, pack the official vehicle. Charles Johnson refuses to pack the official vehicle. Same guy instructs his agent to forcefully pack the official vehicle belonging to Charles Johnson, assigned to Charles Johnson. Not just that, he asked Charles Johnson to turn his gun over. Meaning he said, disarm the man. Disarm Charles Johnson. They disarmed me, but they didn't work. Charles Johnson said, that nonsense will not happen to me. You electric fool. That nonsense will not happen to me. I will not disarm. You can't disarm me. I'm not turning my gun over. This is my official assigned gun. So don't bring that nonsense to me. I will not take my gun over. If he let go tell Joe Barack, say I'm not doing it. And same guy too, he's not close to Joe Barack more than Charles Johnson. That's the whole thing here now. So Charles Johnson did not turn his gun over. Same guy goes to the office and instruct everybody who works in the office of the deputy EPS boss to say, hey, I don't want to see you in the office here. Y'all pack your things, vacate this office, lock the office. Don't want to see you. This is a latest decision. Latest happening from the EPS. Nobody getting information. This is a breaking news. Nobody from the EPS can deny the information. I'm about to open the telephone line. You will see people calling and confirming what I'm telling you. But not just that. Joe Baka now is about, I just received a message. Hey, the information is confirmed. This person is saying it is true. The president is about suspending. So the president is about suspending the two of them or dismissing them. Confirm. Look, we have deeply rooted sources everywhere in this country. Even I want to know what the Baka eating to, what the Baka ate when he went today, I can know. So it is confirmed that the president is about to take some drastic actions against the two. That information about Semgay dismissal was true. It was not a lie. And I told you I was going to tell you the real story. Even though you're in America making be more and begging and threatening people around the president, imagine the president's son call you, what happened, then you threaten the president's son. Who are you threatening indirectly? It's not the president. Imagine a minister of state reaches out to you to ask you what's going on, and then you show him or get insulting or hang up the phone in his ear. Who are you insulting? Ain't that Joe Baka? So when you hear people say, yeah, they may insulted the president, it is possible, it was highly possible that it was Baka who instructed the chief of staff, which is the minister of state, to intervene, to talk to Semgay and what was happening at EPS. And he was rude on the phone. So that news about his dismissal was true. It was not a lie. Because there was a threat from a senior official of the government close to Joe Baka, who threatened Semgay, say there's nothing on. I'm going to inform the president. This may lead to your dismissal. And that official on the phone with Semgay was not alone. And other people eavesdropped the conversation. Hence, the news came out that Semgay had been dismissed. Because they know for that official to threaten Semgay with dismissal, it was highly possible that it was already done. With this latest news that you have packed, Semgay has succeeded in packing the official vehicle of 51, the deputy EPS boss. Semgay has succeeded in shutting down, locking the office of the deputy. The only thing he has not succeeded in is disarming or taking a gun from Charles Johnson. Because Charles Johnson said, when you can't hear me now your BA, I will blow it. So I'll put bullet, I will bury bullet in your BA. You get scared small, you go there. The man said, I'll be here with pay electricity. Isa, when you bring it to me, I will deposit bullets. He said, hey, can't try my gun. I didn't go there. That's how they didn't take the gun. But the office is shut down. The staff officers were asked to leave the office and never to return to that office until further instruction. The official vehicle was packed. And that the man, the same guy knew me is Agent Ito, Agent Money Ito. Call the man Agent Money Ito. Same guy, call him Agent Money Ito. Same guy, aka Agent Money Ito. They make him eat the agent's money and send them on the field hungry. That's what he does. Corrupt, the man already illiterate, then he one illiterate man corrupt. It can be bad, it can be dangerous. Because that man can be fakao, he can listen. The man can be doing wrong and thinks he's doing the right thing. That's the case with Semgay. There's the whole EPS there, a whole place scattered there. Their messages are receiving. Messages keep on coming. They say bidding was upside down today. Now small drama. Somebody said now small drama. Somebody said now small drama in the building today. Drama. Yeah. Okay. Okay, folks. So let's take calls. EPS in disaster, just as the country is in disaster. Baka's life is you gotta call the NSA in now to go and provide security for the president, or the military to go and provide security for the president. Because as we speak, the president is not secure anymore. The president is under potential national security threat. That his 2 officials who are paid, trained to provide security and protection for him are in disarray. It means you can't trust any of the agents around the president right now as we speak. At this point, the military is supposed to withdraw all of the agents in the president yard, in the presidential detail, until further action is taken. Because those guys in the president's yard, they are loyal to the EPS. Some are loyal to the EPS director, and some are loyal to the deputy. To keep them around the president is a national security risk. So 2 things can happen right now. Either the NSA takes charge, which is not likely possible, but the military takes charge for the next 2-3 weeks until this matter can be resolved. You can't rely on the detail, the EP, the detail, current exam of Joe Baka. He's not safe. Because information, the whole information protocol is compromised. Everything about Joe Baka's security is currently compromised. If there are serious countries, the US or other country, but now everybody on that detail has been recalled, suspended, no deployment in the president's convoy in the president's yard until further change or adjustments can be made with the leadership. The military is supposed to take charge to now the president's security beginning tonight. And I'm calling on the military to take charge of the president's security detail until the necessary adjustment can be made. The EPS is compromised under the leadership of Semgi. The fact that he's compromised, he and his deputy are fighting, he is compromised, and the fact that he's compromised, the president's detail is also compromised, making the president vulnerable, making the president's security at a serious national security risk. 0776-104-104, 0886-500-104. That Joe Baka there for yo, EPS deputy 14, EPS director and deputy 14. The 14 over gone. Over agent money. Hello? Let's hear you quickly, 30 seconds each. After 30 seconds, we go home.
Yeah, could you all stay money? You know the issue about Sankey and copying him. You are if he greedy, you are everything you lay your elbow. Everything and then I do you. For I appointed him and appointed choosing. Now I read to say, oh, we can prepare a document to you. Appointed the man, you know it. I remember like a big crazy job we are. And
thank you. Good evening to you. Let's hear you. Next person, 30 seconds. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is the common vote here, and I joined from social media.
Let's hear you. EPF bought one disarm by his deputy.
I'm saying that has been going on for a very long time. Can you imagine EPF talking, complaining for food? The guy say that no, when you are going to say you got to eat. If you don't get common to eat, and yet someone has all the food in your home for him, when you not get a friend, who will get a food eat the food? Can you imagine so many presidents have to go in cook shop to be lecturing there? Go in cook shop, they got lecturing your EPF guy. They got to eat no food to eat. We are in all kind of serious debt. This is why the president fought for himself.
I agree with you. This is why he called for himself. Let's hear the next person. 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is talking to one.
Okay, let's talk to somebody else. Next person. Go ahead. Let's hear you. 30 seconds. Good evening to you. 30 seconds. Let's hear you. Joseph Baka's son. Go ahead.
First of all,
decision to do with the party work. And in all the things in really campaign, he said all the things, okay? So the only thing we need new thing.
Oh, same gay. When just Baka begin, same gay, this army deputy that knew that old thing. Okay, that old thing. Thank you, that old thing. When they shoot bullet in Baka, you know what that old thing or that new thing. Good evening to you. Let's hear you.
Hello.
30 seconds, please go ahead.
You are talking about Baka legacy.
Next person, let's hear. We want serious people. We want frustrated old people that we call on the show. We want serious people. Hello, good evening to you.
Serious people, I don't human being to talk over the radio.
Hello. Hello.
We're talking things that happening here. When they want something, I think they will not call your real name. That's all I can say.
Thank you very much. Next person. Good evening to you.
Hello.
Oh, when people call you talk, go straight to the point, you punch. Don't talk, don't call in, you're scared to answer the answer, man. You talk, you punch. We get the 2-3 more minutes here to be here. We want people who will call and punch, not people who will call and be afraid to talk. They play that hard talk. We can talk hard in here. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Good evening, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Thomas. We are calling from the thing called Committee Black Sea. Yeah, you know, the Bala government, one on serious government I ever seen. The people on serious to the extent that they can't understand themselves. How were two security personnel that are supposed to be guiding the president is behaving in public? Same day, you know, same day will be a very ruthless. And same day, he have a complete temper. He have no right to this. In fact, error. Until these are all boys in that group. They have bad stuff. The president now is to get it and they make a same game and suspend the deputy.
Thank you. President needs to suspend, dismiss him gay and suspend the deputy. Let's take to these two international calls and go home. Good evening to you, my dear brother. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening, Austin. Austin, you see, this is the problem if you elect an old man that is not effective when it comes to information. You know, these things have been happening. The old man sat down right there and risked his own life when he allowed Sam Gate to dismiss about 600 EPS, 12 trained men that were trained out of the country, in and out of the country. Yeah. So these are the same arrogancy that he now bringing in. You know, it just get to charge to Johnson, that Johnson said, no, I will not take this thing. It's too much now. The cup is filled. So at the end of the day, there will be enough fighting right there. All we're saying to them, they will not kill the president. Let him be there. Let him use their arrogancy. If he can take the decision, let him do it. But look, I tell you what, the President Baka will be hard to dismiss Sam Gate. Reason being, President Baka has sold him. Thank you and God bless you.
You're most welcome. If Baka does not dismiss Sam Gate, that is at his own risks. Sam Gate is serving the EPS now at his own risks. And at this point, the joint security will have to make a national security decision over a political decision. The president's security is already at a compromise point because his two deputies, his two officials, the head and his deputy are fighting. A power struggle, supremacy. Nobody needs to tell you that the president's security is at risk. Nobody needs to call the Minister of Justice and tell him to convene a national security meeting tomorrow to take action. At this point, serious government will convene an immediate national security meeting to take some action, immediate actions that will neutralize any potential threats. And you say, Baka will not take action. He shouldn't take action. And even my own say he will not take action. Let's see who it affects. He don't, Mr. Baka, maybe he said all the thing talking to Baka already. They may be having a fifth or a 10th dream. So that he officials then hearing it. Hello, let's hear you.
Yeah, you were talking about legacy. That's my point I want to stress on.
Oh, you are asking about we are legacy, right?
Yeah, I said you said Joe Banana get legacy. So the way I'm legacy was to bring trust in the country for people to
But and I see Josh Ito that I may call on the radio tonight because I see Josh Ito that affecting your brain. I see Josh now. So Bagana bring jokes. They all the jobs Baga be arresting for 2024 that job we are bringing in the country. Some of you are sick in the head. That's why some of you will continue to be in a state that prehistoric or adage subjugated way of thinking, because you think everything is about politics. So you see the wrongs going on in your country, and you still have the balls, the bravery to call here and talk trash. I just stated We Are Legacy. I can do the show from tonight straight to tomorrow morning. Just listen, George. We Are Legacy. It will not end. It will not end. Bakana get racked. We are get brought investment here. He brought businesses here. He employed people here. Bakana get some. So I'm not gonna waste my time behind you, sir. I'm waste my time. Let me take the last international call. No, they call that international call, man. Okay. Let me take the one call and go on. Let's hear you, my brother. Let's hear you. Yes.
Austin, how you doing, Chief?
I'm fine. Your background, you have a feedback.
Yeah, sorry. I'm Ellis Corey, Austin. I'm calling from Nima County. To be precise, this to 7 Bam City, Austin.
Yeah, cut the radio off now. The radio is still on behind you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing
the feedback, Austin?
Yeah, I'm hearing myself. Just manage it and go ahead. We are closing the show with you. Just go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Austin. Austin, let me say congratulations to Freedom FM. Let me say thanks to you guys for the wonderful jobs you're continuing to do for the La Branch people. Austin, I don't know what the problem is. The only citizen in Liberia who believe in Unity Party now is people who want to get job from Jesus Walker. Because broke CDC headquarters now, thinking I want to do that, they will kill CDC morale. But at the end of the day, when CDC bounce back, Austin, you see them flying all over, thinking they want to go break ground. But all we can tell you, the party, they can't beat the CDC. That's why our president said, we lead, we rule, and they follow us. They have no moral, Austin. How can you be into governance for the past 2 years and you there? You're going for over 2 years and then you coming up to say you want to break ground for party headquarters. Shame on you. And let me just quickly respond to that individual who called Austin. The reason that bro is not developed. We show that all the time. Everybody say no to Josh. Are you kidding me? I posted a question all the time. Where the Josh is coming from? I think when you talk over for the past 4 or 5 months, maybe people will say yes, the Josh are president. We are brought in. Then you go to 3 years. Even Joseph Bagger back here. Where Liberia referred to at the bread basket for Liberia. He attended the job basket. Then you come and want to put more on somebody say we are brought just into this country. It's a shame. No matter people, I was thinking, thank you. These people, they know that they are filled with Liberian people. There's no tactic they can use. You partner get fat data to raise to even buy 1 bucket. You almost see the Liberian people money at the end of the day, say they carry collection on.
MPA money, MPA money, the people we used to pay the headquarters.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Already get the information. MPA money. You got one corrupt pastor there called himself Reverend Tape. You got another corrupt individual as head of the entity, Sekou Dukte. So they're going to steal MPA money to pay headquarters. We got the information already. Listen to Bob Marley.